Hello, this is Esther Lamnyam, founder of Imitate Nature Academy, and we've been talking about my program, Cracking the Code, the path to creating a successful life, the path to creating your desires. What do you really need to create those desires of your heart and live a fulfilling and joy-filled life? I've been talking to you about the modules, giving you little summaries about the modules. In module 11, we'll be talking about passing through the center. What does that mean? It just simply reminds you that you are a spiritual entity in a physical body. And to be able to go from one form to another, you need to be able to transmute energy. You need to be conscious of that first. And then once you're conscious of that, there are tools that will help you go from one end to the other. Some of the things I'll be teaching you are very simple because I have found out that nature has all the answers. You know, we were sent here. We don't have to buy a lot of tools. I think the problem is that it's so simple, it becomes complex. The complexity is in that simplicity. You know, we will not have been sent here, you know, to have like derivatives, you know what that has done to us, you know, to do things that we cannot even explain to our own selves. The laws are here, are very simple. One of the things that I'll be teaching you how to pass through the center is the number line. Quadrants, triangles, okay, not geometry, we're not going back to arithmetic in class or physics, but we're going to learn to use the laws that are here. Like you see lines every day. We just use a line, you know, but there's always the center. You know, in arithmetic or physics or whatever, you have the positive and the negative. So you have the plus and the negative. What has this got to do with your projects? A lot. Because you always have to realize at each given moment, you have to pass through this zero, you know, to go where you want to go. If you want to grow, you have to make a conscious effort to keep moving here. So we're gonna use a number line to do that, to pass through that center, you know, to transmit from the physical to the spiritual. You have things at the macro level. Everything at the macro level has its micro level. So we do the micro and then we'll replicate it and form the macro. We are going to be using triangles. You know, I love delta T. When I learned delta T in school, that was very exciting, the change in time. So we're going to use, if you want to do anything, you use a triangle, that delta. You want to move, if you want to be successful, to move from this physical to the spiritual plane, you put in your inputs. If you want a baby, you put in the sperms, you put in the egg. You know, the baby is going to come over here. But this process of transmuting, you know, there are things that happen and there's a spiritual energy that comes down. What is your part? How do you play that part? We talked about making soup. If you want soup, you put in the ingredients that you need to make soup. You're going to get soup here, but you need the element of fire, you know, to create. There's a compiler program that goes in here. So you got to pass through that. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but so far as you've come through the program, you begin to realize that you have the power all along. And because you have this power, you can do anything because you know the right elements to use. Another thing we'll talk about passing through the center is spiritual practices. Now that you're a spiritual being in the physical body, you need to be conscious of spiritual practices. It's not just reading your Bible and going to church. You know, religion, there are many religions, but there's a relationship that you actually have to develop with your higher self, with yourself, your physical self, and your spiritual self. And then you can affect the environment. And if everybody in your house is doing that, it works even better. So I'll give you some of the tools to use to do those practices so that it grounds you. You begin to be present. You don't just give presents at Christmas or birthdays, but you can give your presence. It's so very, very, very powerful. And it can heal a lot of people. It can heal you and it can heal other people. And you begin to notice the difference. People that are not in that sphere will just fall away because you'll be moving to a higher quadrant. You'll be moving to another quadrant. You know, as you're moving into that quadrant, people who are not there will just fall back. But it won't be a painful thing because that is just the evolution of life for all of us because we are all spirits in the physical body. And at that spiritual level, the truth is very clear and people understand it. It will affect your projects, it will affect your relationships, and you'll be able to move easily. You won't have to brute force anything. It will be more seamless. Like water, you will flow. You'll find another way just to flow through. You know, the stagnation will not be there. The giving will be open. So thank you. That is module 11. You know, and we are almost towards the end of this program.